going to James's house, and then going back behind to go to the greenhouse.
Simon mentioned another greenhouse on the farm. Must be up the hill over there.
This is the earlier greenhouse. My mistake. We'll be leaving. Must be further up the hill. Go further up. There you go. Has anyone ever been so as to, etc., etc.? Yeah. Go look into the larger greenhouse. I knew it. It's basil. You can't grow that in the UK without a permit.
I wonder if James knows this is here. Don't know what it is, but be interesting to see what he says about it.
Don't know what it is, huh? I've used that line before. Officer. I'd like to move to this location. I'd like to move to... It's okay, that's fine. Pets, what are you doing here? Same with you, Concrete Entree. It's a Sunday. You don't have to be on Twitch. Take some time for yourself.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Hey, James. There's a packet of dried leaves with MM on it. You think it stands for medicinal marijuana?
Could you tell me
Wrenches
what
turn
these
away,
are,
please?
Please. I found them in the greenhouse.
Been snooping around on the farm, have we?
It's called Investigating James.
Yeah. Just mint. Mint leaves. For cooking.
Yeah, I heard you were a bit of a budding chef.
Dabble a bit. Won a few competitions.
Very impressive. So you normally
You ever
just
hear
leave
about Hell's
packets of
Kitchen?
mint lying around.
Must have dropped it.
I feel you, dude. I hate when I drop my packet of dried mint.
Ever seen one of these?
It's a
Seen
piece of
them around
paper.
college.
What do you know about it?
Not much. It's a business course. Ask Simon. He's on it.
You wouldn't be interested in that sort of thing. And you haven't discussed it with Simon?
Not really. Business doesn't interest me.
How about this?
Ever seen this before?
No, should I have?
No, it's okay.
Alrighty. See you
That's
later,
all for the
weirdo.
moment. Thank you.
You just zipped up his hat? Yeah, business doesn't interest him, and yet he sells things from time to time. And there were bottles in a recite. You get the idea. Excuse me? Tenebrous, thank you. You did spook me a little bit, though. I guess we'll go ask Rebecca. You're right. It seems like James should recognize the pagan symbol.
A couple more questions, if that's okay.
But he's a little cagey. Ever
Do
you
know
ever
what
see
these
mint
are?
before?
Oh, magic mint. Where did you find this?
Magic mint.
Salvia divinorum. I used to grow it years ago. It makes you trip.
In what way?
It's a hallucinogenic and legal. Quite a dangerous combination, really.
Do you use it?
Me? No. No, I don't even take medicines. I like to stay pure.
All right, you have also lost my respect.
I didn't expect Rebecca to know about growing drugs. I know she claims not to use them herself, but I'm not so sure.
I like to stay pure. That's why I own a pub.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
That's not drugs, that's just beer. You claim to be anti-drug, and yet I see you drinking a cup of coffee. What an interesting contradiction.
A few more questions, please. Thank you. Have you ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
I don't speak Latin.
What is it?
It's a hallucinogenic plant, a legal one, at least for the moment.
I've no interest in drugs.
And yet...
My job. That's the only drug I need. As trite as that may sound.
Do you know any students who may have used hallucinogens?
No. My students aren't interested in that kind of thing. Besides, no one is allowed drugs or alcohol onto the site. I don't think anyone has ever brought drugs to Atlas.
Yo,
You have
Ryan,
no
though.
medicines on site at all?
No, we're not allowed. Insurance purposes.
You have... Is there one that's just like... doesn't allow drugs or alcohol onto Atlas premises, and yet you're currently drinking alcohol? Alright, you're right. You don't allow drugs or alcohol onto the premises, and yet... Kate was drunk at the meeting last Friday. That hurts. It hurts that that's not a contradiction. In my head, that one was lights out. I guess she could have been pre-gaming her own meeting. Well, let's see what this is.
Do you know what this is?
Looks like chopped tea bags to me. What is it?
I just thought you might know.
I don't know anything about plants, Inspector. What you should do is ask Rebecca. She knows far more about these things than I do. Messy things, growing things.
You know, just a totally normal way to answer that question. By the way, hey, I don't even want to acknowledge that this one's in here. Leaves look like chopped tea bags. Cut it. This is never going to be part of a contradiction. The contradiction is implicit. This doesn't look like tea bags at all. And a chopped tea bag is not even a real thing. You're just being a weirdo. But I have a contradiction. It's a drug, and yet you said nobody had ever brought drugs into Atlas, and yet here I am. Drugs in Atlas. You killed her, didn't you?
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
See you later, nerd. I'm going back to Simon's place. Ask him about the Salvia divinorum, Wingardium Leviosa.
Ask you a couple
Just kidding.
more
Knock,
things,
knock.
please. Ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
Yeah, I've heard of it. It's a drug, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's a spell.
Hallucinogenic drug. Ever tried it?
No, I've never taken any illegal substances.
She's never taken any illegal substances. And yet... Something... Screwdriver. That's right, it is legal. By the way, do you know what this
Do you know
is?
what these are, by any chance?
No. Sorry. I don't know anything about plants or things like that.
And yet
but
you have a
You
microscope.
should ask Rebecca. She used to live on a farm. She'd know.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
I would say definitely we'll be back later.
Ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
Salvia divinorum.
No,
Sorry, I
actually,
haven't read Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, you mean the drug? Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, ever tried it?
Like once or twice, yeah. But it's not really my sort of thing. It messes with your brain. I've never tried any other drugs either. Nothing like that. Nothing hallucinogenic.
Oh, you've never tried sugar?
Know what these are?
No. Look a bit like sage leaves.
Haven't seen them before, though.
Not at all, no.
Okay. Simon's homebrew. He got some herbal tea. The herbal tea was probably made with magic mint. Thus, you have tried it, And there's a contradiction. Well, he said, okay.
Thank
Hold
you.
on.
Probably be back later.
Emma has the contradiction. Has never... He tried it but never saw it?
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
What are you talking about? Has tried it, has never seen them. See? I told you, he could have just had his eyes closed. You thought you were so smart, Chad. Here's the thing. You're not the same level of detective as I am. Maybe he was wearing the mask and couldn't see out of the eye holes? Oh, as of 2016, it's illegal to sell or import salvia for human consumption. How about that, Emma? In the future, your drug is illegal. No, that's what I'm with you guys. Like, he traded for herbal tea.
Be back later on if that's
The
okay.
herbal tea was probably made with the magic mint. But I think for now, I'm just going to take a little walk. I knew it.
What are you? Private eye?
No, I'm a police inspector.
Who are you looking for?
I'm investigating a death in the village.
That student, then. They did one last year, too. Same place.
Like the only helpful person in the whole town.
Drowned a student. Ask that psycho about it.
Dude, his
He runs
ear.
that business cult.
His
thing.
ear is
The
actually like a
big
mushroom.
house.
I'm actually worried he can hear me talking about him through the screen.
Bunch of nut jobs.
Hey, what was the student's name?
So, could you keep it down, please?
Liam... something? Or something?
My lord, the size of that ear.
Atlas's reputation precedes them. I think I might call the station, find out a bit more about this Liam.
It was like the ear that a Witcher NPC would have.
Hello, DCI Jones speaking.
Mike, it's Jenks.
Oh, Jenks, I thought you clocked off tonight.
Yeah, the chief's put me on a case tonight, the Edenton girl.
Friday night, you poor sod. I thought that was sorted out anyway.
I wish it was. Listen, are you near a computer?
I can be. Yeah, go on.
Do you know anything about a death last year?
It's
Someone
yeah,
called
it's the
Liam in
2010s.
Edenton
I'm
Village?
near a computer.
I don't remember it. Hang on, let's have a look. Edenton Village. Yeah, Liam Rogers. Says suicide last year.
Suicide?
Hang on, 2 suicides in 2 years, both on Edenton. Blimey, you've got your work cut out, Jenksy.
Yeah, don't I know it?
Right, well, good luck with that and see you Monday.
Thanks, Mike.
Now, we can use the information for Liam's death to get a confession out of Simon. Slowly breaking him down over hours and hours of interrogation.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Here's a question for you, buddy. What about
What do you
Liam?
know about Liam?
Liam.
Local lad. Took his wife.
Oh, that Liam. Yeah, I heard about him.
But you didn't know him.
No, I know he went to college, but didn't really know him. It's sad, though.
You know what? It checks
Thank you.
out.
Probably be back later.
Don't lie to me, Emma.
What do you know about a student called Liam? Committed suicide last year.
Only that I didn't know him really well.
Okay.
That's it for the time being. Thank you.
See you in 2 minutes to figure out what your lie is. Go back to Rebecca's place. Emma probably had an affair with him too. Don't be mad at Emma, okay? Ryan has an
Quite a few
animal
things, please.
magnetism and raw male charisma that can't be ignored.
What do you know about Liam?
You mean Liam who took his life? He used to play in a band, Black Rock or something. No, Black Stone. Very gothic. I used to let them play in here sometimes at the weekends. They were quite good.
Did you know there was anything wrong? I mean, why he might have...
No, I didn't know him very well.
Seems like they have a rollicking atmosphere on Friday nights. A gothic rock band.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Well, if he was into gothic stuff, he must have been friends with James. You know, there's not a whole lot of people in this town. Kindred spirits and all that.
Couple more questions, if that's okay. Did you know Liam?
Liam who?
Liam who died.
You mean Liam who killed himself?
Yeah.
He was in my year, on a different course.
What course was Liam on?
Can't remember, not mine.
What was yours?
Plant science. First time I knew about Liam was when he killed himself.
Right, so you didn't meet him?
No.
Well, how... This doesn't make any sense. In my world, this doesn't make any sense. How could you only hear about him after he killed himself, but also know that he was in your year but on a different course? How could you... Oh, I'd never asked him about the salvia.
Ever heard of Salvia divinorum, James?
Was that skin cream?
And yet you're a plant scientist.
It's not a skin cream, no. It's a plant.
Really? Don't know much about plants.
Oh, you are
So you've never heard of
absolutely
salvia?
done.
No.
Yet, as a biology major, technically these could both be true, but from the game's perspective, I don't think it's conceivable. Guess what, buddy?
Aha.
You just got.
So, your degree is in plant science, but you don't seem to know anything about plants.
Well, still got a lot to learn.
So you're still
Yeah, I'm only
saying
45.
You've never heard of salvia.
Didn't say that.
So you have.
Maybe.
And you do grow it.
Yeah, it's legal. Why not?
What do you do with it?
I use it for explorative purposes, meditation.
And does this involve anybody else?
Why?
Do you sell it or give it to anybody else? Sure.
Yeah, it's just for me, nobody else.
And that's the only drug you grow, is it?
Feel free to go and look if you want.
It's okay, I'll look later.
The only drug he grows. I'm not sure I believe that, James.
No, thank you,
Then
Jenks.
again, would someone growing illegal drugs bother growing a legal one?
Okay, he grows salvia for his private use only. However, he also traded his herbal... Oh, he's done it!
When you say herbal tea, do you mean salvia?
Probably.
So you traded salvia tea with Simon for his homebrew.
So?
So why did you say you didn't give salvia to anybody else? Did you give it to anybody else? How many people did you give it to? Did you give it to Kate?
No.
How
Oh,
about Liam?
I didn't have anything to do with him dying, if that's what you mean.
So you did give him salvia?
Yes, I gave him salvia because he asked for it. But that's not what killed him.
Well, he committed suicide, James, because of psychological issues that probably weren't helped by him trying hallucinogenic drugs.
Didn't commit suicide. You don't know anything about him. You don't know what happened.
Okay, so what happened then?
Do you even know about Third Eye?
pardon me?
Go on.
You don't know about Third Eye. You don't know about Third Eye. You know nothing about Liam's death. I mean, forget salvia.
Fine, tell me then.
Third Eye was a cult. We had our very own psycho cult operating right here from our village hall. And I got rid of them, single-handed. I'm the one who got rid of Third Eye. Did they tell you that at the station?
Okay, start again. They were what?
You don't know anything, do you? Look. They were reeling in students, pretending to be some sort of happy life course, you know. We can
And
make
then
your
they
life better
rename
sort of
themselves to
Then
Atlas.
they're putting everyone through this
It's the
brainwashing
same
program to make
symbol.
them compliant, and selling them on. It's all there.
What do you mean, selling them on?
Selling them. Objects, commodities.
To who?
To anyone who could afford them. Top politicians, famous celebrities,
Of
wealthy
which we have
businessmen, you name it.
dozens in this village.
Oh, you don't get it, do you? Third Eye were making and selling slaves. They were black market slave traders. They were wiping people's personalities using ECT, brainwashing, cocktails of hard drugs, deliberately turning them into perfect slaves. You know how much slaves are worth on the black market these days?
Don't answer that.
Millions. And I'm talking per slave. That's why anyone who stood up to them and threatened to go public like Liam was just killed off. They didn't give a damn.
So you're saying Liam was murdered by Third Eye?
Exactly what I'm saying. So I started looking into it. They were all saying it was suicide, but there's no way.
So, did you ever actually meet Liam?
I found out about him.
And how did you find out about all this other stuff?
It's obvious, you can tell. I met some of the students. You could see straight away there was something wrong. They were like zombies.
You can tell
And I
from
could
his
tell
shirt
when
he
someone's
knows
got
zombies.
ECT damage or when they've been through mind conditioning. It's just obvious. I mean, US military used all these techniques back in the 50s. It's all documented, you can read about it. They showed all the same signs.
So, did you ever actually go to a meeting?
No, but I knew what went on.
How?
From what people said who'd been through it.
Okay, so do you know anyone I could speak to who did go through it?
Well, no. Look, it doesn't matter. Why did they close down if it wasn't true? They just closed down and disappeared overnight after I put all the flyers up. Bit of a coincidence.
But that was just after Liam died.
Yeah,
And do you think that had anything to do with it?
maybe, but it was the flyers that forced them to close.
Okay. Do you mind if I keep this?
Yeah, you investigate it. It'll all come out.
Well, this
Third
got pretty
Eye
dramatic
definitely
pretty
killed
quickly.
Liam.
We came over here, asked
Well,
him
that
about
was
some
a
magic
lot to
mints.
take in. Does James really believe all this stuff? This is the first I've heard about Third Eye. Question is, what's their connection with Atlas, if there is one?
Or is this guy just absolutely high as hell? Everybody else is like, yeah, I recognize that. It's sage leaves. This guy's like, by the way, the town is a front for pagan cults that killed students and is selling brainwashed slaves on the deep web.